Hey, YouTube. I am standing with the owners of Simply Neat. They're going to be the first half of the show today. They're going to talk to us. I have Vanessa and Julianna.
Yes.
Vanessa and Julianna from Simply Neat. They're going to talk to us a little bit about their company and the cool things they're doing. They're also going to talk to us about why accounting people decided to start a company in the first place. Right? And then the second half of the show is going to be a conversation with me. It's going to be some me time, if you will, Brian. I recently went on a trip to Sedona, beautiful place in Arizona. It was a road trip. I drove 24 hours from Baton Rouge, not consecutively, not altogether, but I drove and I got into some adventures. And we're going to talk about that in the second half of the show. So it's going to kind of be, Brian, you're going to have to do some work on this one. You're going to have to talk to me a little bit. That's okay. You always talk. It's all right. So
No, all good. All good things.
we're also, if we're going to have time, we're going to talk about the epic fail today. Because I believe you should embrace your failures. We're going to talk about my epic fail today on a legal commentary show.
You didn't fail, though.
They're going to let me back. In fact, I'm coming back Monday. But it's still, it was massive. It was so impressive.
Yeah, so embarrassing, yes. Humiliating, yes.
The dog didn't have a problem. My dog lost her mind.
Crippling humiliation, I understand, but it wasn't a fail.
It wasn't crippling.
I'm messing with you.
The dog that
I'm messing
I couldn't
with
get
you.
to the mute button. So anyways, we're about to start episode 111, right? Episode 111 of the Geaux Rouge radio show. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, and you're watching on YouTube, so I assume you have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, please do. And then the other thing is, trying to get to the newest episode, Brian. The other thing is, if you're not subscribed and you are interested in watching our episodes, I'm going to walk you through how you can do that. I'm trying to find today's episode, Brian. Give me 1 second. Today, you subscribed. Vanessa subscribed. Very good. Juliana has mine.
I'll subscribe right after this.
Yeah, I've heard that. So I'm going to share this, Brian. I'm going to share this onto the Facebook page. Make sure your phones are on vibrate. So I'm going to share this. That's how the day's been. So you're both accountants?
I mean, I'm not a professional, but I work.
What does that mean? You're not a professional. What
She's
do you
not
do?
she's not
I
a
mean,
CPA. Let her clarify. She is a professional. She's just
Yeah.
not a CPA.
I mean, I work for her, but
Right.
I'm not graduated.
Is she great working for her? Or
It's really great.
I was going to say she seems like a nice person.
I work for her too, though.
So
It works
How
out.
did you guys meet each other? Oh, wait, don't tell us.
This is all the show.
This is, yeah.
Let's not burn the show before the show.
Yeah. So I'm sharing this on the Geaux Rouge Facebook. Y'all know what Facebook is, right?
Yeah.
No, you don't do Facebook.
I don't do actually.
You just y'all are killing me. I'm gonna yell it for it. Simply Neat Home Decor.
Yes.
Got it. Tagged it.
Just holler when you're ready.
Yeah, go for it. Start the intro. Welcome to episode 111 of the Geaux Rouge radio show. This is your host, Franz Borkhardt. If you're listening on Talk 107.3 or on YouTube watching us, welcome to another episode. You can find all our episodes, Brian, on www.geauxrouge.com. I'm your host, Franz Borkhardt, local attorney, celebrator of all things Baton Rouge. Our master controlman is Brian Haldane. Brian, it's great to be back in Baton Rouge. I've been gone for a while. I've been touring some of the country, touring some of the Southwest. We're going to talk about that in the second half
Yeah,
of the
we
show. Sedona, Santa Fe, Albuquerque, Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo is kind of the Amarillo. Although
Why downplay Amarillo?
Amarillo has the second largest canyon in the country, if not the world, called Palo Duro.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Repressing jokes about who's got the largest, but okay.
Yeah. So I went hiking there. It was a beautiful sunrise hike. So look, before we jump into the episode, though, this week we're going to talk about that adventure to Sedona in the second half. But first guest we're going to have on the show after we thank our sponsors are the ladies from Simply Neat. We have Vanessa and Julianna on. We're going to get to them just in 1 second. I'm very excited about this group. My good friend Laura Sue, hopefully she's listening right now. Laura Sue told me to have these ladies on the radio, told me they were hot, told me they were on fire, told me I needed to have a conversation with them. So we're going to talk to them in a little bit. But first, let's thank our show sponsors. These are the folks that make the Geaux Rouge show possible. We have Dr. G. Dr. Gunja Rhino with MDVIP at Heal 360. That is the doctor who helped me lose 100 pounds. She can help you become the best version of yourself. You can reach out to her at drreina.com. Our second show sponsor is La Divina Italian Cafe, open every day with your custom-made from scratch breakfasts. Love La Divina. I've been there twice this week. Oh, so good. Hot teas, hot breakfasts, very good. And then last but not least, the Borkart Law Firm. That is my criminal defense law firm. That is my day job. That is the thing that allows me to do crazy things like have a radio show that celebrates the best things in Baton Rouge. You can look at the Borkart Law Firm on www.borkartlawfirm.com. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. So, yeah. All right. First guests up today, we have Vanessa and Julianna from a company called Simply Neat. Ladies, how are you doing today?
Hey, doing
All
good,
right.
and you?
So you know my good friend, Laura Sue, and she said, I had to have you on the show. She said, I had to have you on the show. So tell me, what is Simply Neat?
Simply Neat is a home organization company. It's not just home. It could be a business organization company, too. We basically go into people's homes, and we kind of look at whatever area they need help with. They feel like it's clustered. They feel like, they don't have it. They see it and it causes them anxiety or whatever. And so we go in and we sort of create a plan for them that is sustainable for them to upkeep over time. And we also offer a maintenance plan too.
So you not only get people organized,
We
you
keep
help
them.
keep them organized.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
So walk me through the emotional process of getting someone organized, which is a nice way of saying getting rid of a whole bunch of their stuff. How difficult is it to do that?
It is difficult.
Okay, so let me take a step back before we go down that road. Before we go down that rabbit hole, how did you two are both in the accounting industry, right?
That's right.
How did you two start a company called Simply Neat with the purpose of organizing people?
It's because of me, Vanessa. I have been really organized like my whole life, but I didn't know, I thought everybody was like that.
Right.
I thought that was
You
the
didn't
normal.
realize you were a unicorn.
Yeah.
Special.
Exactly.
So OCD, super organized, and so you thought everybody was like that.
right.
Yeah,
And at some point you realized, no, most of us are not like that.
yeah. I was like, well, I tried to help organize her house, and it was a mess.
And y'all work with each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Her house was a mess.
Yes.
Like gross mess or just or overall?
no, just disorganized.
Do you have kids?
Yes.
Okay, how many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
How old are they?
One of them is 6, and the other one was 8 at the time.
Yes, Brian Haldane and
8
I understand what
months
it's like to
old.
have kids that young. Oh, wow.
8 months.
8 months?
Yeah, as in
But this is-
baby.
That is like a horrible, by the way, children are blessings. But that is like the worst ages because you clean up and it's like you look at the clean area, you take the deep breath and you're like, why did I just clean up? And
Yes.
It's just going to be horrible tomorrow.
But listen, I really thought that it was impossible, really, just to have things clean because I had kids and everything like that. But she one day came in just because she felt like I needed help. She one day came in and she was like, I think you need help. So she came in and she helped me create plans for different areas of my house and different things. And so next thing I know, like a month later, my son is sitting there picking up all his things that goes in the bin, for the dinosaur bin and the cars bin, and then he was getting onto his little buddy that was sitting there playing with him that he wasn't organizing the things in the correct place.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
they
really
needed to be
funny.
put up where it goes.
So you're creating an organized space and complexes for kids so that they develop OCD tendencies. I'm kidding. All right, so she organizes your house. You're like, wow, this has really made a difference to my life and my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
And my
who's-
husband.
and your husband, happy life, or wait, it's happy wife, happy life. so help me understand, why is it that y'all started a company then? Like, at what point did you say, okay, this is awesome, we need to start a company and do all this?
I was like just walking around and I was organizing her house, and I was like, maybe if I do this, I could make money.
You can make money. So it's all about the money.
No,
It's
it's
all-
not all about the money. I was like, I think I'm good at it. And then I was like, I would like to help people, like I was impressed about Andres, her son, like being organized. I was like, wow, many people, like, they may think that it's impossible, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through, how did you come up with the name Simply Neat? And how did you get started with making this business? She had the idea, she has the talent, the skill.
And I have
You're a CPA, right?
I have a business.
You
Yeah.
have a business.
Yeah.
So how did y'all come up with this? Like walk me through that.
So basically, she did. She had that idea, and so I was like, okay, well, we can make this happen. And so we talked through it, and we said, I know this person, Laura Sue. She's awesome at like setting the stuff up, like, the website and everything. And we need to create a company, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. We sat down, we created the whole, 12-month plan or whatever. And we said, let's just do this.
And then the name was, we were talking with a friend, and she was like, maybe Simply Neat. And then I was like, is that one?
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah,
Simply Neat.
we talked through different names, and we,
Yeah.
we looked online and things like that, and none of them really like called our heart per se.
If I were listening and I wanted to hire you ladies, where would I find you, on the web or on social media?
Both.
Both.
Uh-huh.
What is the website?
The website is simplyneat.us.
.us.
Okay, simplyneat.us.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so going back to my other question, taking a whole bunch of stuff away from someone and watching them emotionally deal with it, what's that like? Because like you're taking away their stuff. Like I'm a hoarder. I have a whole bunch of junk. I mean, I'm not a real hoarder. I have a whole bunch of junk though, and I can only imagine how painful it is to be like, hey, when's the last time you used this?
Yeah.
Okay, you haven't used it in 6 months. We're getting rid of it. Or my favorite is, which pen do you want? You want this pen or this pen? Pick one. Is that what you do? You do that,
No,
don't
I
you?
don't do that.
We
How do you
don't
do
do
it?
that.
Listen, I only throw away the stuff that are like damaged,
Okay.
or like they don't work anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything else you're just organizing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't want the people to feel like that.
You're
Yeah.
not trying to destroy their
No.
Yeah.
dreams.
Now,
emotions.
purging is a really important part of organizing and maintaining your house
Right.
organized. However, we don't like force our clients to purge. Like if they simply want that 12-year-old book that means the world to them and it's falling apart or whatever, we find a place for it. We just create, like I said, a plan so that they're happy. Listen, Vanessa is like the most, I don't know how to say it. The money is like the very last thing she is thinking
I know.
about. And so
I was joking when she said I can make money doing this.
No,
I was
no,
just joking with that.
I know, but like what I'm saying is what fills her heart up with joy is like whenever she goes into a house and she does the whole plan, and when she's done, seeing the client's happiness in their face and seeing them, just satisfied and saying, I think that I can do this. I think that I can upkeep this. That is like her whole thing. Like she could
Awesome.
just live off of that. And
So how many clients do you have? You don't have to tell me the names of the clients, but like how many clients are you guys up to now?
so we just started in December. We've
Okay.
had like 4 clients so
And-
far, and we have one
Next week.
next week that we're going.
And
to.
I'm going to point out you're both from Venezuela, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So how did y'all get from Venezuela to Baton Rouge? What's the story behind that? Or do I not want to know?
No, you're going to know.
I just came because I was dating this guy in Venezuela, and then he came here,
So
and
you followed a guy here.
yeah,
Are you still dating the guy?
We are
Is her
married
husband.
now.
So you're married now. So at least it was a good trip. Like if you told someone, hey, I followed someone from Venezuela to come to Baton Rouge, and I was in a relationship with them, that might be kind of sketchy or dangerous. But then you married him, so it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he needed to
Did y'all
marry
know?
me. No, I'm just
Did y'all
kidding.
know each other in Venezuela?
No.
Okay.
No, we met here at a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay. So,
And I came here when I was 17, but I kind of already had that plan since I was 12. I
Okay.
told my mother, I am leaving Venezuela as soon as I graduate high school, and I don't care what you say.
okay. Well, we're glad you're here, guys. Again, if they want to get in touch with you guys, the website again is Simply Neat.
Simplyneat.us, and the Instagram is simplyneatbr.
Okay, so besides just straight organization, you guys also help with maintenance, right? Like once you get a space where everybody's happy,
Yeah.
you also do something. You do a service to where you also help people maintain that
Right.
that space. What is that like?
Well, it depends, right, on how we sort of educate the client, and I say sort of because it's just depending on what the client wants to or doesn't want to do. You know, once we organize and give them a plan and whatever. So it just depends on how organized they kept it to the time that we come back. And so if it's too much, then, you know, it might be a bigger maintenance plan. But if it's little, then it could just be, you know.
And then also, like, we can do it as the client wish. Like,
Yeah.
if the client wants that every month or every 15 days or every 3 months, we can do it like that.
Yeah.
Just how the client want it.
So, you're both women. You're both in Baton Rouge. You both work for an accounting firm as well, right? So, what's it like being a small business owned by women, a women-owned small business in Baton Rouge right now? Good landscape, good environment for that, or doesn't really?
I
We love
feel
it.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love it. I mean, it allows us to, you know, I mean, having a business really doesn't give you more time, but it does give you freedom to pick whatever you want to do with your schedule,
So
even a crazy schedule.
How do you juggle the accounting and the Simply Neat? Because you're a CPA, right?
Yes.
Like, how in the world do you, like, because, look, I say that from a place of love. I am a lawyer with a radio show. I do legal commentary, like, on Court TV, local news with Brian over there. How do you, and I have a small 6-year-old. You've met my 6-year-old. He's around the corner. How do you juggle all this? Because that's the question I get asked all the time is, how are you doing everything you're doing? And I'm like, I've got a broken home. I mean, no, joking. But I mean, like, it's tough though, right?
Yeah.
So how are you? What's your secret to how to do that?
Well,
We do everything together.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
2 is best than 1.
yeah.
We help each other all the time.
Yeah.
So-
And
Go ahead.
no, and there's organization is not just about things in your house. Organization is also about your life. So we do have an organized thing that we keep, like, okay, tomorrow we're going to do this, today we're going to do this, like in the morning we're going to go to the gym, then we're going to do this, then we're going to
So
do
you're
that.
also working out. You're also.
Oh yeah.
We're building a gym in our house.
Yeah.
Oh, so how
Right
do your
now.
husbands feel about this? They're very supportive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Do they
well.
sometimes put them to work as well? Sometimes.
No, sometimes my husband, when he gets home, he's like, this looks kind of messy. Where is Simply Neat? I'm like,
Yeah.
Simply Neat is off right now.
Yeah.
So Brian has a few kids. Brian has a very busy schedule as well. Brian coaches sports. He works full time. I mean, how many different shows are you a part of? at present?
3 different shows, but I have 3 jobs outside of this
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
So,
So someone like Brian, would you benefit Brian from some organizational help?
okay,
at your
so
house?
I'm actually glad you asked that because I wanted to address this with them. When you're approaching new clients, what's the toughest hurdle in getting them to, like, the first step to solving a problem is admitting there's a problem, right?
That's right.
So when you've got the clutter, when you've got the whatever's going on in your particular situation, what's the most difficult hurdle? Convincing them there's a problem or convincing them that they need professional help to get it done? Because, like, you think about any other aspect of life. When you look at your retirement, you've probably got a financial advisor. A lot of people have a dietitian or a life coach or a trainer or whatever. You're like a trainer for neatness. So
That's right.
handing that off versus believing, nope, I got it under control, I'll
Right.
handle it. Where's the bigger hurdle there?
I mean, both of them are pretty big to go through, right? So, first of all, when they don't accept that they have a problem, then there is really not much we can do there but it really what we focus on when we have new clients or whatever is changing their mentality about organizing. Because people think of organizing and they think, oh, this is the most boring thing. Like, I'm never going to be able to do it. I am the perfect example. She's not. She organized her Barbies when she was 7 years old by color and.
Oh no, I get it. We're here. We're here.
But
we're good.
I am with y'all, the majority of people, and
So, getting to the point, you have to have an intervention with people, right?
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
Like, you have to be like, look, we need to talk.
right,
Your house is a disaster.
right,
Or
right.
your office. And look, I've used a similar service. God bless her. Not to promote someone else while
Right.
y'all are on. Sarah West has been on the show before. Sarah did my office,
Mm-hmm.
and it was hard. Because like my office, and Brian has been to my office.
But the first words out of your mouth were you're getting people to throw stuff away, and the first thing they say is, no, that's not how we roll. So I would imagine that impression is embedded in people, and you have to talk them off that ledge.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. We need to change their mindset. We need to make them understand that what we're going to do is actually going to bring them a benefit, not just for them, but for their whole family.
Their
That it's a
life.
culture change. Yeah,
Yeah.
that it's their life. That it is good for them. That it'll bring them peace. That it will actually save them time. Because once you organize everything, it's super easy to just go and say, oh, where's the milk? Oh, to the top left, third shelf.
So you were talking about refrigerators too.
Whatever they need. I mean, yeah, her refrigerator is.
Wait, of course your refrigerator's all organized. Her pantry is probably like the most. You have things labeled too.
Yes.
You're a big fan of labels.
Oh, yeah.
I do customize my own
Are
labels.
they in Spanish or English?
English.
Both.
Really?
Well, some like they're mixed.
They're mixed. Some Spanish. Okay. So Simply Neat. They will help you organize your life, your house, your office. Any other questions, Brian?
I want to know how deep this goes. Is this a matter of just simply organization, or are there minor renovations that y'all put in? Because
Great question.
oftentimes you walk into a house and they just don't have the places to put the stuff. Would there be like minor construction work involved, minor renovations involved?
For sure.
Yeah, we just did a project like that. It was a playroom, and she wanted to change everything. We did everything like new. We painted. The
I mean,
walls.
actually, Vanessa is studying interior design, so she's going to graduate from that like probably within the next year. So she's also going to do interior designing with.
And organization.
Oh my goodness.
So,
I mean, now we've entered power tools into the equation, so it's gone
Who
next
uses
level.
the tools? Who uses the power tools?
our husbands. No.
Oh,
I'm
your
just
husband?
joking.
He's
That's
my husband.
disappointing.
Wait a
I'm joking. I'm
Way
joking.
to set
No,
the
no.
women's movement back, ladies. I mean, our men do the hard work. No.
No. I'm
No,
joking.
But
It just
but
kind of
that does
depends.
make a question. Okay, so you're both working two jobs. What do your husbands do for a living? I don't need their names. I just what
Mine is a civil engineer.
And mine is
huh. And then yours is.
a mechanical engineer at
So these
Exxon.
guys, you're married to two engineers.
And they have the same name.
Yeah, Hugo.
Both are Hugo.
So
So
it's my Hugo and her
and
Hugo.
my Hugo.
That's kind of weird, guys. That's kind of weird.
That's how we met.
Y'all don't think that's a little? It's a little weird.
It is.
It is.
weird.
It is.
All right, so I've been Simply Neat. If you're just now tuning into the Geaux Rouge show, we've been talking to Vanessa and Julianna from Simply Neat. These ladies will help you organize your life, maybe improve your dispositions, get you organized, neat. Do you do some self-healing too? Some of it's psychological?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Well, you're dealing with, look,
Everybody will be fine.
look, if you're dealing with kids, like, so, okay, so my son's around the corner, so I'm going to be very gentle on how I say this, Brian and ladies. I do this thing where when I have my son, I tell him, you have to clean your room. When I first gets to the house, the first day he's with me, and then the last day, you have to clean your room. Before we do exchange, you have to clean your room. He enjoys the act of I mean, it's neat, not as much clean. He's not vacuuming. He's not dusting.
Right.
Of course.
But like the organization for him, he like gets into it, and he positions his he calls them his loveys, his stuffed animals. I don't know what James calls his.
There's stuffies in our house.
Stuffies, loveys, stuffies.
Mine
all the
calls
same.
them loveys too.
Yeah. So, anyways, ladies, thank you for coming on the show. I'm very glad Laura recommended you guys. We will have this Geaux Rouge YouTube episode on the page. If you subscribe to it. You can watch it whenever you want to. And then, look, check them out on their social media and whatnot. Ladies, thank you so much, and we'll definitely have you
Thank
guys
you
back
so
on the
much.
show.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Dude, I need this in my life. I need organization. So, okay, here's the thing. My house right now, I live in Mid-City. I got a small little cottage house. Very cute, very cozy. The house is very zen-like. It's very peaceful, very calm. But what I'm not doing is I'm not utilizing, like, space-saving efforts. So, like, if you've ever been in a Mid-City house before, Brian, there's not good closet space. There's the pantry is kind of weird in the way it's shaped. So I am ready to take that next step. I'm ready to get a little bit more organized, get stuff in the kitchen to where it needs to be. Like, everything's in the kitchen. It's clean. It's behind things. But I also need to talk about my dog. We're going to talk about my dog in the second segment.
Yeah, we will.
So Molly's going to be on Furball this Saturday. So, look, we're going to take our first break. Ladies, y'all have a great day. Guys, if you're watching, we're going to be right back with the second half of the Geaux Rouge show. All right. You guys, thank you.
I think we did it so bad.
Oh, you did great. You did a great job. So do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go to the YouTube. Share this. Tag Geaux Rouge on social media. Like it on social media. But, yeah, it's already on YouTube right now. It's streaming
What
live.
is the name? Episode 11?
111. If you just go to
111.
All right. So we're going to be back. The second half of the show is just going to be a conversation with Brian and I. We're going to talk about Sedona, life, philosophy, spiritual experiences,
Oh,
vortexes.
I don't know why I don't see it. Aquí.
So anyways, we're going to be right back, guys. Y'all stick around.
Hey.
That sounded a lot like an arm of a chair broke off, Franz.
But
It's hey.
all right, guys. Y'all skedaddle. Good seeing y'all.
All right.
Thank you so much. You're great.
All right. You ready?
Give him a radio show, they said.
What, you talking about you? I think you're beating yourself up because the rest of the day was poo-poo. It's been, yeah. All right. Stand by.
All right, welcome back to the second half of the Geaux Rouge radio show. This is your host, Franz Borkart, episode 111. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Talk 107.3, first half of the show, we had the ladies from Simply Neat on, talking about organization, talking about getting your life in order. Second half of the show is going to be a little different. We're going to talk about something outside of Baton Rouge. I mean, this show celebrates, Brian, the finest things in Baton Rouge.
It does.
Places and things.
It does.
But every once in a while, I go on vacation. Every once in a while, I'll take some time off. I don't go on a lot of it. You're making a face. I don't go on vacations a lot.
No, you don't.
In fact,
well, I'm not even making a face.
In fact, this was one of the first vacations I had done in quite some time, and this was, in fact, a solo vacation. We're going to talk about my little adventure. It was a vision quest, a spiritual exploration of the self and solitude. So we're about to talk about that in the second half of the show. But before we do that, let's thank our show sponsors, the Borkhardt Law Firm, criminal defense firm. Go to www.borkhartlawfirm.com. Hey, if you call them and told them you heard about them on the Geaux Rouge show, it probably won't do much. Won't change much.
What, from the Borkhardt Law Firm?
Hey, maybe a discount on the felony. I don't know. It's a
well,
criminal defense firm.
So you got to have an offer, though. I mean, you got to be able to. You got to be able to make it valuable.
Everything I do is valuable. Everything I do is an offer. Anyways, La Divina Italian Cafe, serving select wines, ice cold beer, plus their exclusive sorbet mimosa. And then last but not least, Dr. G, Dr. Gunjarena. I need to have her back on the show. She's so busy with MD VIP at Heal 360. Dr. Reyna got me healthy, keeps me happy. You can check her out at www.drreyna.com. Guys. Maybe you noticed I wasn't here last week. Did you notice that?
No, I did notice that.
I went on a little trip. So I had a trip to Sedona planned, and there were some things that happened that caused me to move the trip. And then there were some things that happened to motivate me, I'm using my words carefully here, Brian, to drive from Baton Rouge to Sedona, Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Hey, can we move you over to mic 3?
Yeah.
It's just it's a hotter mic.
All right. Better?
Much.
All right. It's all right. Nobody's listening anyway. Anyway, so I first want to start with the fact that it's a 22-and-a-half-hour drive from Baton Rouge to Sedona, Arizona.
I mean, if you're going to take the tribe cross country.
Right. It's like in the Griswolds.
It is.
So some of that is Route 66. And Route 66 runs parallel to an interstate, or is the interstate for a while. But you're going through a lot of Texas. So the first leg of the trip, and the point behind the trip, this is the bigger question, right? What are you doing? I wanted to find out some things about myself. I wanted to have some me time. I spend most of my days around people. I spend most of my time around clients, around different people from different organizations. Tomorrow I'm doing the furball. When this airs, furball. Molly, me, on stage. My dog is probably going to defecate all over the stage, over the runway. It's going to happen.
I mean, yeah.
So I wanted some me time. So how do you get some me time? Be alone with yourself in a car for 22-and-a-half hours. So the first leg, Baton Rouge to Amarillo. Amarillo is really kind of like a stopping point. It's like the armpit of Texas. It's a stopping point.
Oh, you're just pooping on Amarillo again.
There's a song.
Amarillo by morning.
It's a really depressing song.
I know.
Not a positive message. There's actually some good restaurants in Amarillo. Amarillo also has Palo Duro, which is one of the largest canyons in the world.
Yes.
And that is where my adventure started. There is a monument, a rock formation called the Lighthouse Rock Formation. And I hiked it. It was a 7-mile hike, Brian. It involved some climbing. At the top of the plateau, there is a rock formation that looks like a lighthouse. And I was there at sunup. It was beautiful. And then, in an effort to try to get down from the plateau, I may have slid down some rocks. Some of the rocks got to second base with my butt.
Okay.
And I was wearing some varsity shorts. They are now ripped and torn.
No.
I cut my knee. There was some bleeding on the mountain. It was very symbolic. Very falling, getting up, all this stuff. So, finish the hike off.
So, first of all, thank you for not saying rock bottom.
No, I didn't say
Okay.
So, beautiful part of Texas I never knew existed. From there, Brian, I went from Amarillo, Texas to a little place called Santa Fe. Santa Fe is one of the most beautiful cities in New Mexico you've ever seen.
Picturesque, yes.
Great. Have you been there before?
No, I've seen pictures.
Yeah,
That's why
it
it's
is picturesque. Yes, there's great food there. The weather was fantastic. Wow. So there is a church. There's a Catholic church there that has a winding stairway that defies architectural engineering. And there's no nails made with it. You can Google it. You can check it out. So I went there, said some prayers there, took a tour of the city. Then I went to Albuquerque. Albuquerque's claim to fame is that's where bugs took the wrong turn, which I deep dove into that. Why is that always the running shtick from Bugs Bunny? I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Well, apparently there's an intersection in Albuquerque where Route 66 meets Route 66, and so apparently it's very confusing, and you can easily take a wrong turn, yada, yada, yada. So from Albuquerque, I drove all the way to Arizona, Brian.
Look at this thing.
What are you looking at?
The staircase at the Loretto Chapel.
Yeah, Laredo, yeah.
Wow.
Architectural feat. No nails used, dude. No nails used.
You know what we're going to do here? I'm going to throw a picture up where the logo's at so the YouTube viewers can see it, but continue your story.
I like it. Yes. So, long story made short. Wrong turn in Albuquerque. So I go to Albuquerque. Albuquerque has some great food. Another great town to hang out with. From Albuquerque, I go to a place called Winslow, Arizona. In Winslow, what's Winslow, Arizona's claim to fame? Do you know?
Song.
Right, by the Eagles.
Yeah.
I was standing at the corner in Winslow, Arizona, right?
Yeah.
So I found the corner. There's a corner in Winslow, Arizona where there's a flatbed truck, and it's labeled, it's monumented. So I took a selfie there. Had to take a selfie there. From Winslow, Arizona, went to Flagstaff. Flagstaff, Arizona is beautiful. It looks very much like the Pacific Northwest. And from there, the pilgrimage continued to a little place called Sedona. Sedona has a population of about 15,000 with tourism in the millions per year. Long story made short, I was there for about 4 days. It is a very, very special place. It's a very spiritual place, Brian. They have these things in Sedona called vortexes. Have you ever heard of that? No. Concentrated places that concentrate energy. Some may even say spiritual energy. You're supposed
There's a staircase.
Yeah. It's a architect. This is in Santa Fe. The you can't go up the stairway, right? You can go and touch it. You can look at it. You really can't touch it either. I lit a candle there. Said a little prayer. I'm a Catholic.
Yeah.
So it's private now. The chapel is actually private now. So it's privately owned. It's no longer a part of the
right.
Whatever the real estate company that owns all the Catholic
relics
church.
has been removed. There's no longer a mass.
Yeah.
So.
Well, is that a relic? I don't know.
No. I mean the actual relics. Like
right.
We don't need to take a deep dive into the Catholic end.
So with that all being said, Sedona, spiritual vortexes. While you're over there, Google spiritual vortexes or vortexes in Sedona. They're supposed to be these places where you have concentrated energy. You're supposed to get something out of it by going to them and praying or meditating and all that stuff. And look, I am not. So the record is clear. I think you know me well enough to know that while I'm having a spiritual portion of my life right now, I'm not granola. I'm not the guy that has the crystals. I'm not the guy that is doing rain dances, right? But you can be spirit. What's wrong with doing rain dances?
That's what I'm saying. Why are you knocking rain dances?
So the rain dance is not to make. I learned this on the trip. The rain dance is not to make it rain, but to be one with the rain.
No, I know there's completely different songs to make it rain. Most of them by Lil Jon.
By the way, I've glossed over the fact that earlier this week on your show we talked about ignition devices, and not once did I hear R. Kelly music.
That's not me. That's on Jake. That's totally on
we
Jake.
didn't talk.
Yeah.
Or a remix to Ignition.
The remix to Ignition.
So I hiked. So I want you to understand, I'm not a hiker, Brian. I'm not a hiker, and I hiked. I hiked and I hiked and I hiked. I rented a tour on these things called pink Jeeps, Brian Haldane.
Okay, I saw a picture.
So these pink Jeeps, you basically, it's a Jeep that has like a little area for seating for people. Mm-hmm. I did that. We did all sorts of cool maneuvers, like 45-degree maneuvers on these Jeeps. Okay. And I saw this beautiful place, this beautiful part of America. And I took some time off. I got some excellent, dude, every day I was there, I had really, really good food. And then I turned around and came back. I came back by way of Albuquerque, and then Albuquerque, I drove from Albuquerque 16 hours all the way through Bunkie, back to Baton Rouge. I mean, I'm not going to say I found myself in Sedona. I'm going to say that there was a level of clarity that I was looking for that I was able to get. And sometimes just taking a good vacation, sometimes just taking a minute to breathe, Like you're a hardworking dude. Like when's the last time, Brian, you had like a vacation where you could just have a free thought to yourself? Where you weren't planning something, you weren't trying to organize something. It was just I can just reflect on my existence. Think about that. It's been a minute, right?
I don't know that I've had that.
Maybe a retreat. You do retreats, right?
Yeah, but the retreats that I do aren't like retreats. It's not like Manresa. I've never been to Manresa, where it's a silent retreat for the whole weekend, and the retreat is just the retreat. The retreat that I've done, the retreat that I'm trying to recruit you to, is completely different.
Well, I want to go on that retreat. I want to go on that retreat. So, yeah, long story made short, I was gone for a week and a half. It was one of the best life experiences I've ever had. Now, the downside, let's talk for a second. I've talked to many a person in my travels, Brian. I talked to many people. On the road.
What are you, Hemingway?
And I met a lot of great people on the road, and a lot of times people were traveling with other people. It was
Steinbeck.
Families, couples, and they all were like, everybody thought or said, hey, that sounds really remarkable that you're traveling by yourself and you're taking this experience. But there was also a certain sadness. Like these monuments, these geographical configurations, you're experiencing them by yourself. And there's no one to share them with other than, of course, the other people that are touristy around there. And by the way, when you're a tourist in a touristy place, you never feel like you're that tourist. They're all tourists.
Oh, no, you don't feel like it, but you're so.
I'm a part of the problem.
Yeah.
I'm a part of the problem.
I don't see it as a problem because I'm that guy too.
I'm supporting the local economy.
That's exactly right.
So there is a certain amount on. So there is a certain amount of solitude mingled with wanting to share. I'm looking for a word here. Wanting to share it with somebody else. Now, that someone else doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It could be a family member. It could be your son. It could be anything. Although my son thought that I was going into the desert and camping. Okay, so you know me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, that fiction is like, he was like, how do you use the bathroom with cactuses? As if I were pooping on cactuses and sitting on cactuses. I said very carefully.
Is it cacti?
I think it's cacti.
Yeah.
There are certainly cacti all over the place. I was in the drive between Amarillo and Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. There was a windstorm in the desert, and there were tumbleweeds flying across the highway.
I've never seen a tumbleweed in real life.
Oh, dude, they collide with your vehicle.
Really?
They do.
Does it hurt?
Your vehicle's moving at a high enough.
Well, let me rephrase that. Do you notice it? Like,
yes.
Is it enough
You
to be like, what was that?
It's not enough to where it damage. Well, I mean, I was driving my Tahoe, but just let everybody know what kind of car I drive. I was driving an SUV, but I did not notice it beyond the sound of hitting it, but it didn't cause damage. Now, other thing, in the desert, roadrunner birds.
Wait, what?
Roadrunner birds.
Yeah, like the Wile E. Coyote.
They eat like, they're very quick, and they eat like snakes and other birds. Did you know that?
Wait, they eat snakes or they eat like snakes?
They eat snakes.
Okay.
I watched a roadrunner eat a snake. It was amazing. So, yeah. I kind of felt like there was parts of the adventure that were like Dune. Have you ever watched Dune, where it's like desert planet?
Wait, we got to go back to the Roadrunner eating the snake, because I feel like there would be an ultimate irony if Wile E. Coyote was ever bitten by a snake.
I never saw one coyote out there.
But if Wile E. Coyote was ever bitten by a snake, that would be like, okay, you've constantly been trying to kill the dude that eats the snakes, so the snake bites you. Circle of life, Simba.
I will tell you, one of my childlike visions was that the Roadrunner bird was this wonderful, iconic creature that was speed, and now I kind of now I'm kind of like, yeah, they're like raptors. They're
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not meep. That's not that
my spirit animal. Because on a vision quest you find a spirit animal.
Yeah.
I'm not going to draw significance to this beyond telling you that every single place I stopped, every single place I hiked, there appeared what appeared to be a crow or raven. I can't tell the difference between the two. A blackbird of size. It was not the same one each time. I'm not going to sit here in front and say it was the same one of each time, but that was the only creature that consistently was at every stop I went on.
Okay.
So I'm not saying I'm like the Crow.
No, it's not a full-on Brandon Lee, and it's probably not an Edgar Allan Poe reference either, because Poe never went that far west. But
you know,
possibly when Christopher Moltisanti was made, there was a blackbird in the window.
So the other thing about spirit animals that I did not know, I mean, because I'm learning while I'm out there. It's not just me out there. I'm learning while I'm out there. The other thing was that spirit animal could be an insect. It could be an ant. It could be a beetle. There are a lot of beetles in the desert, by the way.
That would suck. No, sorry.
Why does it suck? Why can't you be grateful for Why couldn't you just be grateful for discovering what your spirit animal is?
Because if you discover your spirit animal is a cockroach, then what are we doing here?
I'm just saying the discovery of the significance.
I'm just saying I'm packing up and finding another animal.
In Sedona, I went to a spiritual place where they had a Serpa, which is like a spiritual antenna, put there by Buddhist monks, by the Dalai Lama, over one of the vortexes.
Not himself, though. He probably
his crew,
he farmed this one out.
His monks.
Yeah.
It was designed. It was designed and built, and you're supposed to go clockwise around it. There are prayer circles. You've ever seen a prayer wheel where you spin the wheel at Buddhist temples?
All right, that's how you get to the last round of Wheel of Fortune.
So right next to that.
Oh no, like in the Golden Child with Eddie Murphy.
Yes,
I want the
dead
knife.
You're dead right. In fact, yeah, very much. And then next in this holy place, next to the Serpa, was a Indian circle of rocks that's supposed to be like a healing spiritual circle where you're supposed to go around that clockwise, and you go in the circle and you do all this stuff. Now, did I feel spiritual energy while doing that? Well, I told someone, it's kind of hard because if you're looking into a beautiful landscape and you're seeing a mountain and you're seeing this beautiful sky and you're looking at this and saying, man, I am grateful for whatever entity created this, and you feel this connection with nature. And if you're an outdoorsy person, if you're an outdoorsy person, you feel a connection with nature, right? Mm-hmm. So do you feel spiritually connected because of that? I don't know. I felt good inside. I went to a church built on a mountain, connected to a mountain. Okay, it is a chapel on a rock, and it's built into a mountain, and you go in. Okay, and you go. It's huge glass windows. It's super cool, right? Mm-hmm. So you get to this church, and what do? I buy some holy water because I want some holy water.
Okay.
Now I don't know what you do with holy water once you buy it. I'm not the best of Catholics, but I had this idea of having a fountain at my house and just pouring the holy water in there and letting holy water like flow through the fountain. Kind of weird.
I don't know.
I mean, do you use holy water? Do you use holy water only for vampires?
No, my experience with holy water is just the blessing when I first walked into the church, and then on the way back out again.
Right,
a little dip of the finger.
I didn't drink it. Although
I don't normally bring it home.
The Catholic Church had this very ornate, what I will only describe to be a metal igloo cooler like thing going on, and you paid for the bottle of the holy water, and you filled it up yourself. Like a little plastic bottle that said holy water from the chapel. I had to ask, if I bought the holy water, did that diminish the holiness? Holy's holy, though, right?
No, once it's blessed, you're good.
Holy's holy.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, I did that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's in a cooler or if it's in one of those True Blue containers that Jason drives around. Like, you're good. You're good.
I didn't drink it. I kind of felt like that was sacrilegious.
Wait! You crossed over sacrilegious with delicious.
Right, sacrilegious. Yeah, I didn't drink. Well played, Borkart. So.
Oh, that should be the tagline for every Catholic fish fry throughout Lent.
Sacrilegious.
Don't be sacrilegious.
Get some catfish. So listen, the other thing is I had never really done large scale hiking before, like ever. And I didn't realize that when on mile 5 or 8, there's no portalet.
Right.
Just kind of go behind the shrub or behind the cactus. And so takeaways from this trip. One, I do think that you, the listener, whether with your family, whether by yourself, every once in a while you need to get out there and leave Baton Rouge. Go somewhere. Go somewhere that's just special. what special means may be something that you need to discover. But I went to Sedona because it just looked like a really groovy, peaceful, wonderfully quiet place. And it was for the most part. There were a lot of tourists there. It was spring break there.
Okay.
That's another conversation for another episode.
Okay.
But yeah, go travel, man. Now, maybe next week we'll talk a little bit about what you can do if you were to travel to Baton Rouge. Things you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Places you could be.
Mm-hmm.
Are there places to hike in Baton Rouge? Yeah, there kind of is. We have a swamp.
The Bluebonnet Swamp, yes, and Breck has a couple of hiking trails that are they're good for here.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to find Red Rock, but
No.
we'll talk about that next week maybe. Anyways, actually, next week we're going to take off. It's Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Spend some time with your family, folks. Spend some time getting closer with, whatever you believe, whatever your Easter bunny, your eggs, whatever. Easter's when the Easter bunny died for. No, that's something else. I'm not going there.
I mean,
on the third day the Easter bunny rose. No, that's God.
No, I know you can't lead the segment by talking about being Catholic. Then talk about getting
spiritual journey, and then the Easter bunny.
Spiritual, and then you're gonna knock it all down with.
I'm taking my son to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That destroys any spirituality I have from
No,
Sedona.
it doesn't diminish.
All right. So, anyways, that's about it for this time of Go For a Show. If you're listening, thank you. Thank you. We'll be back after Easter. We'll be back with another episode 112, and we wish you all the best for this Easter weekend that's coming up, not this weekend, but the next. God bless, and we'll see you next time.